You are not lazy. I know that sounds like something a friend says to make you feel better. It isn't. It is the conclusion of 30 years of psychology research and of a Roman philosopher who wrote it down 2,000 years ago. Because the story you have been told about procrastination is wrong. And believing it is the exact reason you cannot stop. Here is the story you know. You put things off because you lack discipline, because you are bad with time. So you download another app, you buy a planner, you build a beautiful color-coded schedule at 11 at night, and for about a day, you feel fantastic. Then Monday arrives. The task is still sitting there, untouched. And now you have a beautiful planner to feel guilty about too. Look at what just happened. You did not fail to plan, you planned perfectly, you simply did not do it. So the problem was never the plan. Here's the first crack in the story. Truly lazy people do not feel guilty. A lazy man in front of a television is at peace. You are not at peace. You are on that couch with a stomach full of dread, running the task through your head again and again. That takes effort. Procrastination is exhausting. Laziness is not. Here is the second crack. Watch what you do while you are avoiding. You clean the kitchen. You answer emails you have ignored for weeks. You suddenly find the energy to defrost a freezer. That is not a person who cannot work. That is a person working very hard at anything except one specific thing. And that one specific thing is almost always something you care about, which tells us what is really going on. You are not avoiding a task. You are avoiding a feeling. You open the document and something arrives before the first sentence does. Anxiety that it will not be good enough. Boredom, confusion, because you do not know where to start. Or the quiet fear that if you try properly and it still fails, you will learn something about yourself you would rather not know. Your brain reads that feeling as a threat. And it does what brains do with threats. It gets you away from it. Psychologists have a name for this. They call procrastination an emotion problem, not a time problem. You delay to repair your mood right now, and it works. That is the trap. The instant you close the laptop and open the feed, the dread disappears. Relief. Immediate, guaranteed relief. Your brain files that away. Avoid the task. Feel better. Do that enough times and it stops being a choice. It becomes a habit, running with nobody at the wheel. But relief has to be paid for. And here is the strange part. Your brain does not believe it is the one paying. Researchers put people in a scanner and asked them to think about themselves in 10 years. The regions that lit up were the regions we use to think about a stranger. Read that again. To your brain, future you is a different person. So this was never laziness. It is a trade. Present you takes the relief and hands the bill to someone your brain has quietly decided is somebody else. That is why willpower advice bounces off. That is why the planner fails. A better schedule does not remove the fear. It just books an appointment with it. So what actually breaks the loop? 2,000 years ago, a man in Rome was writing letters about this exact problem. His name was Seneca. He had no phone, no feed, no productivity app. And he still could not get started. He wrote that it is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. We are careful with money and property. Yet with time, the one thing we should be greedy about, we hand it out like it costs nothing. Then comes the line that belongs on every laptop. While we are postponing, life speeds by. The Stoics did not try to make you more motivated. Motivation is a mood. It arrives when it feels like it. They did something colder and far more effective. They made the delay scarier than the task. Marcus Aurelius ran an empire and still had to fight himself out of bed in the morning. His method was not a pep talk. He wrote in his private diary, You could leave life right now. Let that decide what you do. Epictetus was harsher. He was born a slave, and he asked his students one question that lands like a slap. How long are you going to wait before you demand the best for yourself? This is what they meant by memento mori. Remember that you will die, and it is not gloom, it is leverage. Because the feeling you are running from is small. It is 20 uncomfortable minutes. Put it next to the real cost, a whole life spent in the waiting room, and the arithmetic flips. The task stops being the threat. The delay becomes the threat. So here's what to do tomorrow. 4 steps. Nothing to buy. 1. Name the feeling. Before you touch the task, finish this sentence out loud. I am avoiding this because I am afraid that, and say the real ending. A feeling you have named loses most of its power to move you. 2. Shrink the entrance. You are not sitting down to write the report. You are sitting down to write the worst possible first paragraph of it, badly, for 10 minutes. 10 minutes slips under the brain's threat radar. And almost every time, 10 minutes in, you keep going. Because starting was the entire fight. 3. Do it at dawn. Early, the dread has not woken up yet. Put the thing you fear first, before the day hands you 100 excuses that all look like work. 4. Forgive yourself for the last time. This one sounds soft. It is the sharpest tool here. In one study, students who forgave themselves for putting off revision before an exam procrastinated less before the next one. Guilt is a bad feeling. And what do you do with bad feelings? You avoid them, so guilt about delay becomes fuel for more delay. Drop it. That debt is closed. Begin. One objection, because you are already thinking it. But I work best under pressure. No, you work only under pressure. What you call your best is whatever survived a panic at 2 in the morning. And that late rush does feel good in its way. It is the relief loop closing one final time. The fear finally shrank below the deadline. It did not need 3 weeks to get there. You are not lazy. You are afraid of a feeling that lasts about 20 minutes, and you are paying for those 20 minutes with days, with years, with the work that only you would have made. Seneca is not telling you to hurry. He is telling you to stop handing your life to a version of you who never shows up. Tomorrow is not a plan. It is a place where we bury things. So pick the thing you have been circling for weeks. Set 10 minutes. Write the ugly first line. The Stoics could not give you more time. Nobody can. They taught the one skill that makes time yours. Begin. If something clicked here, subscribe. Sketched wisdom. Big ideas, drawn simple. Your 10 minutes starts now.